We're going live in 3, 2, 1 second. In 3.
Dear all, we are celebrating 75th anniversary of Indian Independence Day. On this special day, my team and I from Swasthya Niketan would like to welcome each and every one of you to our second annual celebration event, Healing with Art. And thank you for accepting our invitation. We will begin with lighting a lamp or candle. Before I introduce myself, I want to thank my teachers and guides for their contribution. I am Dr. Wahida Murthy, based in Bangalore, India, practicing allopathic medicine since last 28 years. As a family physician, integrated medicine, that is anthroposophic medicine, consultant and art therapy practitioner. I am founder, CEO of Swasthya Niketan Integrated Healthcare and Research Foundation, Murthy Health and Research Center, Art Therapy Training, School Swasthya Kala Niketan, certified by European Academy, and also India Coordinator for Art Therapies. People ask me frequently, how is art tied to my life? And being doctor, why I am so keen on integrating art in treatment and therapies. In my life, art accompanied me from early childhood, and I was already a professional artist before I became doctor. 17 years ago, during my postgraduate medical training in integrated medical system, that is anthroposophy, practiced in Europe, I found that art is an integral part of therapy in treatment. So over the years, I am highly convinced about the results produced by integrating art in medicine and in education, to prevent the illnesses, to maintain health, as well as to actually become in education, also we can early intervention, and this art creates very good preventive healthcare. As Mahatma Gandhi said, it is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. And Dr. Steiner added, real medicine can only exist when it permeates into wisdom which embraces the human being in respect of body, soul, and spirit. In the recent, due to pandemic, we all have realized how fear, anxiety, and uncertainty disempower us, mainly at soul level, that is our thinking, our feeling, and inaction, which adds to our physical and social health and well-being. and they are unfree. We all find that, lack of freedom. And that is the source of being in imbalance. We lose our balance there. So wise men have said, heal the soul first, healing of the mind and body will follow. Artistic elements also play important roles in strengthening or enhancing soul life. With the experience of joy, self-expression, creativity, and freedom to be, one finds inner strength and gets empowered and healthy. Today, we are dealing with painting and being with colors as an art activity. Being with colors itself is healing because colors with their shared inner wisdom with us work on our soul and spirit directly. Secondly, the process of art activity itself allows us to be in the moment, in the present, strengthening our focus on creativity, productivity, and freedom from disturbing thoughts and feelings. This dynamic process of art also strengthens our immunity, emotional as well as physical. In the current scenario, we have chosen the trees as theme. They are the representatives of our plant kingdom who provide us with everything required to be healthy and alive. As we begin our 75th year of freedom, we must remember the importance of uniting for a great cause. As Mahatma Gandhi inspired a nation to seek freedom in those uncertain times, we must now strive to seek the possibility of freedom from our limited thoughts, negativity, disempowerment, and fear. Team Swastikala Niketan will share with you more about healing with art. So I will create with you how we will, how this event will go. 3 of us from Swastikala Niketan team will paint with you. We have used certain exercises and watercolors, mainly plant pigment colors, but you are free to use any medium and also material. You can use crayons, you can use pencils, color pencils, you can use anything, and you can even draw with pen. But it is mainly about the process. See, it's not about the painting outcome or the result. It is about being with colors, being happy, creating joyous feelings. So if you have not completed the exercise during our process, and because of time constraint, you may be faster. Still, you can go to our YouTube and this link, and you can complete the exercise. It will be there. And also, if you have questions, then you can send the questions to us. We will see how many of them we will answer in this time. So at the end of this event, almost 20 minutes we will keep for that purpose. Okay. So now I would like to invite Jyoti Pagri. She is educator and art therapy practitioner. Over to Jyoti.
Thank you, Dr. Vahida. And today I have the pleasure of sharing an exercise of painting that is, as she had mentioned, based on trees. Today we have taken the motif of trees, and as I'd heard some time back, where, or rather read it, where Steiner says that art is the sister of nature and the closest to nature. Now, in this time of this pandemic, when we all have been cooped up, as mentioned earlier, anxiety, fear taking over, if anything that helped myself and the children whom I have been, and young adults and adults, I felt this was the time when we used colors that something in the heart would open up. And I am sharing this exercise with you. To begin with, we take a sheet of paper, and as such, we paste it on this vertical board so that, and it is not wet on wet. This one is wet and then it is dried. So we are going to be using wet colors on this dry paper. So I have divided this sheet into two horizontal parts. So it's on a horizontal format. And then I take this violet color. If you have violet, you can use violet. But if you don't have, you can use carmine red with ultramarine blue. And then mix it very well and take a very, very light shade, not too dark. I can show you the shades of colors that we will need for this. So I have taken this is the violet, but I have watered it down. And so I have it very light. So the upper part, I left it as white, and the lower part, I have kept it as violet. And you can allow it to dry. I will show you the exercise. You can go along with me, or you can always paint a little later. Now on this one, you see the difference between the two, where one is very clear white, and here it's a very somber, a very quiet kind of a mood. And now on this, my next color that I'm taking is green. It's a middle green. If you have a green directly, you can use it, or you can mix yellow and blue, and then you can create this green. Prussian blue and a lemon yellow is a good combination. And after this, you will also need a middle brown. Again, this, if you have, it's good. If you don't have, then you can mix green and red, and you can have this brown. Now on this horizontal horizontal plane, what I'm going, it has its left and it has its right. So I find my center, like how I have my left and my right, but my center is what I am looking at. So in this painting, I'm going to now start with the green. So I will start with the green on the white surface. And as I go, I am not filling up the space, but I am balancing. So I started with the center being on the side, the center, I took it slightly to the left. But this should be the center. I balance it on the left. And on the right. Almost rhythmic movement, addressing the feeling then, the heart, the chest area. Now I'm going to take the same green on the violet. These are two paintings happening simultaneously, one above and one at the bottom. Again here, when I take the green, I start with the center, but it's a strange feeling because green coming on the violet seems to have some kind of a resistance from the background. It was much easier to do it on the white background. Again, I go to the right and I work with the principle of balance. It's good to use a flat brush, 1 inch in width, with a long handle. Now I'm taking the next color. What I had shown you was this brown, which is a combination of red and green. Now I will take the brown, again looking at feeling my own center and feeling the center on the sheet here. And so here I go. It is meeting the green and moving up into the white. So it's almost as if the ground with the green and up into the air. So meeting both the sky and the earth. And then now I'm going to balance. Pause. Now I would go ahead with the similar, same brown onto the violet background with the green base. It's almost as if it's being pushed to one side. With the resistance as if there's a wind behind and it is pushing it. It's forcing it to move and give this dramatic movement. I see this wanting to come here as well. Okay. Yes. I'm going back to green. First on the background with the white, as it is the tree motif, and bringing the green. As the foliage. Now let us see what happens to the green on the violet background. Again, it feels as if it's being pushed on this stormy day. Something is amiss over here. So I'll again balance. How dull the green gets on this violet background. And the same colors are being used. Now I'm going to go with this ultramarine blue. One can even take Prussian blue. And always test the color. So I always test the color. Now this is too dark. So I'm going to water it down. now this. It can be lighter and doing it darker so that it's easier for the color to be visible. The wind is blowing and there is gaps as if the blue is breathing. Blue coming down, it's almost as if it's taking away the strength of the green. Then come on to the green. It's bent friendly with the green color. So I have my vision and my contact with my feelings, with the colors from the left to the right to the center. And now the next color is, I take the same blue, but I mix a little bit of violet in this. And I use this on the violet background. It's creating a slightly tawny, dark mood.
Ah, Jyoti, so beautiful, so wonderful. The nature moods are expressed through trees so well.
The breeze is further pushing it. Now I take a yellow and the light wants to peep in this breeze. And how yellow makes us also feel so bright, opens us up. For some of us, not for everyone, but it is bringing the light and creating a sunny morning just with the use of these colors. And let's see what happens. These clouds are getting denser. The day is getting darker. And then something dramatic happens. So I take a vermilion red and then with this lightning, also there is a yellow light. And we can build it up, making it even darker and denser. So you just see how these two backgrounds with the same colors, with a slight difference at the end, we have been able to create two different nature moods. And this is a beautiful exercise for young adults who are actually holding themselves in that space where they are actually looking for themselves. And they're wanting to take a grip onto the ground and they want to go out into the world. And many of us, we are also struggling with it no matter what age. And these are the exercises which were sketches actually given by Rudolf Steiner for young adults. And I have been doing it with myself and with young adults and as well as adults. And I have seen how powerful these simple things are there to hold us and give us our inner strength. Here I would like to read a little poem which says, "What would you be, wind, if you did not have trees to roar through? What would you be, spirit, if you did not have bodies to reside in? All life needs resistance. All light needs turbidity. All labor needs tree stem and wall to exercise upon." By Christian Morgenstern. This touched me, and I thought I would share it with you all today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jyoti. So beautiful and wonderful. I was just wondering that these nature moods and that those are expressed to trees. Yeah, I agree. It will make such a huge difference actually when we start looking at nature. And this, this exercise creates that awareness about what is happening in the nature, their moods. Thank you very much. So now, next I'll be inviting Usha. She is also educator and art therapy practitioner. Welcome, Usha.
Thank you, Dr. Wahida. I'm Usha Chandrachud, and I'll be taking you on a different exercise, and we'll be using these colors. So we have lemon yellow here, the warm yellow, and the blue, and finally the violet. Now let us see how just these colors produce this miracle of the trees. Dr. Steiner said trees are the archetypal representation of the man and of course the woman. So let us see. Now let us go to this exercise and see what miracle we produce. So you might not be having an easel at your home, but you can use a stool or a stand. Like I have used a stand here and just put the board on it, and you can then paint if you don't have an easel. So, but you can be creative and paint. So this is the stand that I have used, and I have just covered it with a cloth, and my board is here. So let's start. The first color, the color closest to the light is yellow. So we'll start with lemon yellow, and I bring it onto my board, onto my page, and I find my center. As Jyoti said, finding a center is very important in life also. So I find my center on the page and slightly go above the center, and I bring in my stroke. And you can see we are just being with the color. We experience the color and we try to be with the color. Yellow radiates and almost goes into the white. It becomes invisible into the white. Yellow has a strong center. So we will be painting it a bit fast due to the constraints of time. But I would like you to experience the color fully, be in the process, and really experience what is the yellow telling. How do I experience the yellow? How do I feel in my center with this yellow that comes? What happens when I bring the yellow on the page? So I'm doing it on a small size of paper, but I would ask you to do it on A3 size of paper so that you can really enjoy the process and you can really feel the color. You can feel what happens with the color. Now my yellow is really spread into the white. I bring in a warmer yellow to give it the center, because it has really become an even yellow now. And now I'm strengthening my center. And guess what color we can take now? What color does yellow call for? Yellow is closest to light, and yellow invites blue to come. Blue is closer to the darkness. Yellow and blue are two colors on the ends of the spectrum of colors. And so blue is very shy and she comes. She really doesn't want to come, but then she comes. After all, when somebody is yellow and is inviting you, so it's so much infection and so much love, you can't just refuse it, can you? And so we have blue. Blue comes in very shyly. So blue goes all around yellow. She loves to care. Blue is a very loving color, stronger in the periphery and breathing into the center. Yellow breathes from the center to the periphery, and blue breathes. As you see, like as I apply more blue, my periphery becomes stronger. So yellow has been fully enclosed by the blue, and so we take the step of meeting the yellow. And a beautiful gift is formed. As you see that there is a breathing rhythm between the two colors. And in finding that breathing rhythm, we also find our health. So we approach yellow, as you see, with a very light shade of blue. And one always tests the blue or any color. Like, so this is my blue that I'm approaching the yellow with, because we don't want to shock the yellow. And something fresh, something very beautiful, something full of vitality is born when the blue meets the yellow. And so you see that Now that the green has come, the green is really a very refreshing, stable, and a very strong color. The yellow seems to go into the background. Yellow is shining better with the green. So is the blue. But the green is really strong, and we need to strengthen our blue. So let's take a darker shade of blue so that we are supporting the green. Yeah. Now the green looks little bit supported. The yellow is still crying for help, and she invites the colorful of wisdom, the violet, to come. Blue is also hanging, and the violet comes. You see, the violet is a grandmother. She's called the grandmother of the color. She's really is like a grandmother, supporting and caring and full of wisdom. And the yellow heaves a sigh of relief. The blue also is really supported with this coming in of violet. The violet is a very steady color. So one is always painting to see the balance. What is needed? What is really what is a color calling out for? Yeah, my blue is supported. What is my next step? So the blue is happy, and now the violet goes into the yellow. She forms a small, she brings a small parcel of a gift in a seed form. And out of that seed, something grows, something which is very different. A quite brownish shade comes on meeting the yellow. There's resistance, and something grows very organically. Brown is the earth that is being pulled out. And so yellow is really happy. Now she's got the support of the violet, and something really a new gift violet has given coming into the yellow. Now the violet has really made a very strong color. A little bit brown is created. There's a kind of, like, when I look at the color brown, there's a kind of, yeah, it's strong. It's not so live as the green, and it needs something. It's a little bit dead, It needs something to really liven it up. Let's bring in the blue. Let's bring in the blue. Liven up. Yeah. And we are always seeing when I'm painting, when I paint on the left, I see that, yeah, I can put some color. You're always balancing it out. What does it need? The top, the left. And so I have my green again, gift from the yellow and blue, which really refreshes this brown that is come. And I really see, is my green enough? Do I need some more green? Yeah, this looks good enough. But I see that my bottom green is not balanced with the green above and it seems to hang. So I strengthen, take some blue here, I strengthen my green. And what a difference it makes when I work like this out of a sense of balance. So is my so I have brought in a stronger blue around the roots. So I'm painting in the vertical format. One needs to stand to make some decision. One needs to stand to really find the strength within oneself at times. This is the vertical format. And now I see that, wow, it looks brownie supported by the green up and down. But my blue seems to have become a little bit weaker when the green has come. So I'm bringing a little bit blue to support. Look at what happens when I bring in a darker blue. Does it feel supported? Has it made a difference? Yeah. So we can go on like this, where we are working out of the balance of the colors, like of what the color demands. When we really live into the colors and experience what the color is trying to tell us, and really experience what the color wants to do, you experience a lightness within you, you experience health.
Yes, Isha, it's so beautiful. You can see the light, light behind the tree and a strong foundation, and your tree is like very beautiful in the center. Yeah.
Thank you, Vaida. So yellow doesn't want to be left out. So we strengthen little bit yellow. And then we bring in a little bit of rose carmine red above, a touch of warmth. Complete the picture. So we could go on with the picture, we could go on balancing. We could also bring in little bit violet now down to balance the tree. You see, like just the stroke of a stronger violet, what it does to the picture. It really creates a very strong base. And we are creating a motif out of the breathing rhythm between colors, out of the drama that the colors have created for us. So that is in short. It's not, I have not taken it to the bitter end, but I would really ask you to really take a bigger piece of paper to really experience the colors, the process, and how, like, out of these three colors, out of yellow, blue, and violet, how did we create a tree motif, which in an upright format. It's not horizontal, it is upright format. In the end, I would really like to read to you some individuality of colors, a quote. We experience ourselves differently in light than in darkness. We fly off as dust in pure light. In lightness, we fly off as dust, as pure light. We grow rigid in pure black, in heaviness. In both, we are powerless. So yellow and blue. In the striving for balance between heaviness and lightness, the upright form of the human being braces itself, weightless. And that is really health. Thank you.
Thank you, Usha. It's wonderful. So again, with colors, how much you can see that our soul, our experiences, our emotions, and we live in colors. There's something hidden in us. That is the secret, what colors have, the wisdom, right? And with being with them, it's so healing. Yeah, just being with them itself, we are impacted with them because we recognize something hidden secret between them and us. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add that there is no mistake in art.
Yes.
There is just no mistake. We are always in the process, and you always feel the drama, what happens between the colors and with us, because we live in colors. So there's no mistake, and it's always beautiful, whatever the results are. So we are not painting out of trying to paint something, but we are painting with the loss of colors and what the colors want.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. So now maybe people are, who are there, they will be wondering again the education. I mentioned about importance of art in education. Actually, when I used to go for, doing art with children, then I realized it's not about that. It's about the whole environment needs to be educated. So we started with painting children as well as teachers and caretakers, everybody. And in the process, it's so wonderful that I will share. We have done many workshops. So what I realized, children beat stress with art. I will read something points. In overcome nervousness, we create exercises. So they have this access to overcome nervousness. They creative, self-generative approach. They're flexible, very positive, and they have freedom to express and communicate. And also there's certain exercises that we do to accept failures, imperfections, and freedom to make mistakes and rectify them and restart again. This is what children have shared. And also teachers and students paint together. They express together as groups. And in that, they express through art the topics to deal with social issues or environmental issues. So that way, if you see, artistic activities work on intellectual, thinking, emotional, feeling, and physical willing development of well-being of the growing human being. So art serves as a balance in education and as a bridge to what can make us fully human in our thoughts, feelings, and action. That is why we call it a preventive medicine. Through education itself, the prevention of diseases and illness can begin. That is through art. Thank you. So now it's my turn to start, activity. So here again, as I said, we have kept this board, but why? Because we wanted you to see. Otherwise, you can just keep anywhere a paper, have freedom, and be with colors. So my thing is being with, just colors, right? So this is, and you can. It's not that you have to just repeat what I will start. You can create what you want. You can get an idea. You can create the trees. Or anything which is related to many trees theme, and then with even any colors, I said that crayons or anything you could use. So let me start. So here again, I have chosen the colors, the basic colors. Yellow, red, blue, green, brown, and white. You can choose any colors, but this exercise I have chosen these colors. So I'm going to again start from the center. Okay, for this picture, which is actually we have is small, you can create bigger one, smaller than that also. The purpose, again, I told you, it is not about the outcome or art piece or being an artist or whatever. It is about the actually process of painting. Okay, it's not about completing it. Okay? Being with the painting and enjoying it. So we start again. I start with yellow. So I find the center. And with this center, I will spread this yellow. From center to periphery, only in the central 1/3 of the paper. Any art activity is here. We have this, there are two types. You can see this hygienic or anything you feel good, you experience joy out of doing this activity. It is good. But curative art therapy, where the focus, the center is the client. But in this art, the center could be the painting. But there, it is Center is the client, and we have to create exercises for the individual required. That's why we need change for this. Of course, we are dealing with colors. We have to be slightly careful also, because we are dealing with the soul life of the person. But yes, that is why. Absolutely. So I have spread a yellow line. And this yellow, you saw that there is center. I have maintained the center. Most of the paper is yellow. Second color, I take and I start from lower part of the paper. Here, I'm not focusing much on actually, we have to go very slow, each color experience, because of the time constraint. Complete this. That's why I'm advancing the process. Otherwise, you can do one step yellow and then blue and slowly be the color. Experience that you are the color. I'm just standing here. Next color, which is slightly not very warm red, but neutral red. We call it a cool red. Above. So there are three colors. Yellow, red, and now there, in these three we call it primary colors or the basic colors. These colors, now I'm going to create some form. Please stage their colors. Before creating form, red into red. This is the color. This is orange. Is it visible properly? So, make this stronger. And this exercise is suddenly it becomes very strong. Immediately you can spread them. This is the beauty of watercolors. Okay. So you can have control of them, as well as sometimes you have to wait till they dry. So waiting also becomes one exercise. Right? holding back as an exercise. That's it. Meantime, we go to the other side of the painting. So again, we learn to control, to coordinate. And we can blue. So now blue. Slowly, because again, as Isha said, there'll be shock. Blue is very strong. It's very dark. Look it down, just touch lightly. Slowly. And you do that. So that. Once we start to prepare, strengthen. So we will do it gently when I do. So that's third color, blue. Now, I take yellow. So yellow also starts. So this. Freedom to create. Still with maintaining strength. Stronger because the strong colors come. So, stronger here. And can also get in. Right. So this stage, there are two more colors that come, orange and blue. So we are going to take violet, edge of red. You see this something represents known. So you can spend much time in this exercise. Okay? This can be done very slowly and allowing the other colors to meet next color and the transition we call it very good. And if you do this exercise slowly, try to balance the colors. Okay. Still we are very wonderful. So I look stronger. So you can also also say that there are, four elements. This could be the dense element, earth, then comes water, air, and fire. Water. Those we are also made up of the same element. That's how we show what's like the origin. Start. Four. The second thing is I'm waiting because red. Okay, so I will say that this itself is beautiful exercise where there is allowing flexibility and allowing flow and sometimes think and there are thoughts of stress. There's also is allowing us to be colors and the rainbow in the rainbow what we also have. Okay, so we in the practice balancing and that also creates balancing with human. Now, I'll start with brown. And this green, little bit of brown seed. Okay, so this also is in this exercise. Actually, we are not doing anything just like that. We are also looking at in now next what will happen. So, a little bit of green, a bit bigger. So, this grow. There is I'm trying to make it in the center. Yeah. The process. We are also part of the growth process. So this sprout here. So, strong. Stronger and it's tender. Small. The room into small branches. Oops. We are part of this. Stem color changing into these branches. So we are actually in this exercise, we are also part of the process of growth. Okay, now we're going to create leaves. Yes. These leaves. Then next, preparing for glosses. No, here. We'll just create story out of it. After the glosses, seeds. Back to seed. You see, the whole tree was hidden. Roots, the plants. Roots and that. So like this, you can have your own, you can have your own types of trees and the whole process. Single tree, you can have million trees. And so now I'm going to create more flowers and lots of colors. Like carnival flowers. Okay. And also, once these or this. And this side. And then your colors there. Okay. And go on and on. Can stop here. How much? Okay. So, well, I thought looking at some nature and some birds. Birds. How I feel. Birds, grazing. So on. Children in this way. Uh, Right, thank you. So the point is, you can just go on and on with colors. Create whatever you feel like, don't have to be perfect. You can, something you can go on adding. There's nothing like you have to have certain thought process that you have to. That is another way of painting. You plan something, you draw something, you fill the colors. That also is one way of painting. You have already planned, but here what we are giving rest to our thought process. We are just expressing with colors, and in the process, we are thinking and trying to create something. All right. Thank you. So now, I think anybody wants to have questions, some questions you can answer.
It was a wonderful session, Dr. Vaida.
Thank you.
Very nice. We saw against the rainbow background how the tree was created and how all the colors integrated and brought so much beauty and balance. Thank you for that wonderful session.
Any questions? Yeah, I'm waiting for people to ask questions, anything. See, I know this is not art therapy or anything, but here what we have created is healing with art. So have freedom to have soothing, that soul healing, feeling good, being with colors, and just having freedom to be, just expressing yourself. But still you have any questions, please ask. I mean, we are waiting about the exercise of. We will come back to you again and we will answer. You can continue to send questions and we will answer, we will send answers. But right now, if you have any questions, we are waiting. All right. Yeah, Jyoti, you would like to add, Jyoti and Usha, you want to add anything?
So beautifully, Dr. Rita, you said that this is not about like a fixed thing, but it is about exploring. And of course, our training has definitely helped us to live with colors with a different thought process. There was a time, or rather, physics has just defined it to be a wavelength. Colors are a wavelength. But are they really that? Has always been my question since I was a child. But it meant so much that colors actually can do so much for us. And they have, it's the, what happens when we see certain colors? How do they make us feel so bright and happy? What happens sometimes when we look at certain colors? We feel so dull. We feel so being caught up. And what is it that is causing these feelings? So to live with the feeling realm and to be able to connect ourselves, colors, it's a kind of a training. Just by allowing children to have paints and giving colors, or even old people for that matter, and exploring what all possibilities are there. You know, the joy that you see with the little ones when they just mix the yellow and the blue, what happens? It has always given me so much joy the first time when a child experiences such a, combination. And so colors are much more than mere wavelength. And so many of us, since childhood, we have had the fortune to be with it, but over a period of time, not being considered as a only for artists, unless you're becoming an artist. This is not that. This is actually for each one of us. Just the way we need all the vitamins, we need time with art. It could be with clay, it could be with wood, it could be with colors. Especially now we're talking about colors, and we're talking about our inner freedom on this day of independence. Through these colors, how we can actually help ourselves to be away from all thoughts and just have that state of quiet inside. So it was a pleasure to watch those colors coming out through your rainbow sequence. And Usha, it was a pleasure to see that magic of the tree coming out from that yellow background with just the violet. And especially I thank Dr. Steiner for having given these indications. And then further, Gerard Wagner, our teacher, I would say my grand teacher, because Caroline Chanter being our teacher and her teacher, I call him as how much of practice for almost more than 70 years about just one motif has always touched me. And that is where I feel this anthroposophic art, it has so much to offer to the world, and the time has come. And we are kind of sharing it today. We started the process last year, and hopefully every 15th of August, we come back with new things for you all. And it has been a pleasure to be with you all. Thank you. Now, Wahida, on to you.
Yes. Well, the question is yellow. Why there is yellow? You know, we started with yellow. All of us, there was something which was central about yellow, right? Yes, the answer is, if you look at the colors are actually, the colors are visible in the light and the shadow. I mean, if it is too much of black, we don't see colors. If it is white, we don't see colors. The colors are actually starting from the light to the end into darkness, you can say. There is a spectrum, okay? And this is what God has said. Between the light and the darkness, the colors appear, depending on the density of the heaviness. I mean, so the blue is a color which is immediately near the dark, the black, and the other side, the color near closest to light is yellow. The light of yellow, we say that yellow has the enthusiasm, the sense of activity, movement, energy. The word enthusiasm, energy comes from yellow, and generally yellow is again there is deep meaning behind that, but still the forces, yes, and needs to be experienced actually. All these exercises needs to be experienced. It's not theoretical, so we hold back, we don't share so much. But still, this yellow in the center also has a kind of significance, and that is why I think the yellow, we give yellow roses for healing and for energy, and that is there. A small explanation of yellow, but it is a color which is very close to light. Okay? The warmer play, from there it begins red, orange, red, and the warm color.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that Steiner said that there are just two colors, yellow and blue. All the other colors come in between them.
Yes. Yes. And yeah. Okay, any other question? All right, please continue to paint, make it a habit. Like we have other habits of exercise, yoga. We do so many, wonderful habits. I invite you to just create this also, exercise for the soul, and that creates the, you can, that center, a kind of joy and happiness and creativity. These are the soul forces which creates balance. And then we say that creates a sense of freedom when we paint, because that is lacking right now because of these constraints of this uncertainty. We are really trapped. That's what you are noticing, that my painting, you found that there are some people who decide in the darkness, they're trapped in their own, like uncertainty and fearful. And there are some people who are helping them towards light. Okay, so that is what we try to express. So we help each other. As a community, we paint. As groups, we paint. Or we do any other artistic activity. So making this as a habit also is a soul exercise which increases our emotional immunity. In turn, psychological health and physical health, they are directly related to each other. And when we are healthy at the soul, we are healthy at the mind and our bodies. So now I think we will complete this activity, and I would create, created what we call some kind of a message, and that way, because I'm very much inspired about Rabindranath Tagore's poem, which says, "Open the doors for the carnival of colors." Okay, so let us really open the door for the carnival of colors, which are in the nature, and nature is the biggest art gallery, and let us open and receive those colors and appreciate them in nature, and we'll open the doors for the carnival of colors. Thank you.